Good morning, my dear students. How are you? Fine. Okay. So students, today I have come with one new topic, and topic is solution. In my last class, I discussed before you about the pure and impure substances. Okay? In impure substances, I explained before you about the two types of mixtures, and that is homogeneous and heterogeneous mixture. Students, in that context, today I am here with the topic solution. All of you already know about solution. A solution is that mixture in which some dissolved materials is or are present. Students, what you have to keep in mind during the study of this topic, I am going to discuss before you. First thing you have to keep in your mind, a solution is a mixture, and a mixture is considered as an impure substance. So solution too is an impure substance. Okay, now let me say, students, how a solution forms. So students, a solution forms by its two components. A solution forms by its two components, and those two components are solute and solvent. Solute and solvent. Okay, you can show them like this: solute plus solvent equal to solution. Okay, so you have to keep in your mind, a solution consists of two components, say solute and solvent. Okay, now this is the important thing for you to know, which one is solute in a solution and which one is solvent in a solution. Okay, students, in solute generally you understand some solid, but this is not true. Solute can be a solid, can be a liquid, can be a gas. In similar way, a solvent, as you understand, a solvent is a liquid, but this is not true. A solvent may be a liquid, may be solid, and may be gas also. Okay, so this is important for you to know which component is regarded as solute and which component is regarded as solvent in a solution. Okay, now let me say, students, solute, the component in a solution which is in larger quantity, is considered as solvent. So keep in mind, the material, the component in solution which is in larger quantity is regarded as solvent, and the component or material which is in lesser quantity in a solution is regarded as solvent. For example, if I ask you, tell me what is solute and what is solvent in the sugar solution, absolutely you will say sugar is solute and water is solvent. Why? Because sugar is in lesser quantity and water is in larger quantity, and your answer is right. But suppose if I ask you, tell me the solute and solvent in chasni, which is made from sugar and water. So in chasni, what will be solute and what will be solvent there? Students, let me say in chasni, as quantity of sugar is larger and quantity of water is lesser, so there water is solute and sugar is solvent. Water is solute and sugar is solvent in chasni. But in sugar solution, generally water is taken in excess and sugar is there in lesser quantity. So sugar is considered as solute and water is considered as solvent. But just opposite to it, in chasni, sugar is solvent and water is solvent. So keep in your mind, in a solution, if it is asked which component is solute and which one is solvent, so first of all think over it, which component in that solution is in lesser quantity and which one is in larger quantity. The component which is in larger quantity is treated as solvent and the component which is in lesser quantity is said to be solvent. Okay? Right? And students, solute and solvent. Solute does not mean any solid and solvent does not mean any liquid. A solute may be solid, may be liquid or may be gas. In the similar way, in solvent, a solvent may be solid, may be liquid and may be gas. So this is very important for you to keep in mind which component in solution is considered as solute and which component in solution is considered as solvent. Okay? So this is the simple concept of solution and you have to keep in your mind, and also keep in mind a solution is a mixture. A solution is a mixture by mixing of two components, and as the ratio of these two components are not fixed in solution, so it is also an impure material and impure substance. Okay? Now we shall see here types of solution. So next topic is types of solutions. Student, a solution is classified on several bases. So let me say some of them. First, concentrated solution. Concentrated solution, which is also in short say formed solution. And second one is dilute solution. Dilute solution. Now let me explain what is a concentrated solution and what is a dilute solution. And student, you must know these two classification of solution has been made on basis of relative amount of solute and solvent. Relative amount of solute and water. So students, if in a solution the amount of water is more than amount of solute, then the solution is said to be dilute solution. And if amount of solute is more than amount of solvent or water, the solution is said to be solution or concentrated solution. So in concentrated solution, generally students, we are in habit of making a solution in water. So hereby in this classification, in case of solvent, we generally consider water. So these two classification has been made on basis of relative amount of solute and water as a solvent. So if in solution water is less and solute is more, then the solution is said to be solution or concentrated solution. For example, in laboratory you must have seen in some of the acid bottles has been written concentrated acid, and in some of the bottle it has been written dilute acid solution. So students, dilute acid solution, it means the acid solution in which amount of water is more than amount of acid, and in concentrated acid amount of acid is more than amount of water. So students, in concentrated solution you have to keep in mind, in such solution relative amount of water is more than the amount of solute. Okay, right? So keep in mind. And dilute solution, what is in dilute solution? So also keep in mind, in dilute solution it means in such solutions relatively amount of water is more than amount of solute. Okay, amount of solute. So these two classification of solution has been made on the basis of relative amount of water and the dissolved solute. Okay. Some another types of solution, let me say here, for example, saturated solution, unsaturated solution, and supersaturated solution. Now we have to understand here what are the meaning of these classifications: saturated, unsaturated and supersaturated. But first of all, let me say on what basis this classification has been made. So students, you keep in mind, this classification of solution has been made on the basis of relative amount of solute, and solvent. Okay, so first let me explain the saturated solution. What is a saturated solution? So students, a saturated solution is that solution in which no more solute can be dissolved at the given temperature. Suppose at room temperature you are dissolving sugar in 100 gram of water. So students, in 100 gram of water, maximum at that temperature whatever sugar can be dissolved, that solution is said to be saturated solution. Means saturated solution, no more solute at given temperature now can be dissolved. Okay, so it contains the amount of solute at that temperature that it has capacity to hold. So at given temperature, for a solvent, what capacity to hold the solute if present in solution, that solution is said to be saturated solution. So you can note down here a solution in which no more solute at given temperature can be dissolved is known as saturated solution. Right? So in such solutions, maximum amount of solute that can be at that temperature is present. Okay? And if some more amount of solute you want to dissolve in this solution, then you can do it only by giving the temperature, by changing the temperature. But at that temperature you cannot dissolve now any more solute. Okay? So this is saturated solution. Second, unsaturated solution. So what is unsaturated solution? So very simple. An unsaturated solution is that solution in which even some more amount of solute, at the given temperature can be dissolved is said to be or known as unsaturated solution. So students, in such solutions there is still some possibility to dissolve some more amount of solute at the given temperature. Okay, for example, you might have seen if some friends of your father come at your home and your father or you serve tea to them, some like 1 teaspoonful sugar in tea and some like 2 teaspoonful sugar in tea, and you are able to dissolve 1 teaspoonful of sugar and also 2 teaspoonful of sugar. So there is possibility to dissolve some more amount of sugar at that temperature. So that is unsaturated solution. So tea that we take at our home is unsaturated solution. Right? And now third one is supersaturated solution. Supersaturated solution. So what is a supersaturated solution? Supersaturated solution. Listen, a supersaturated solution is made from a saturated solution. So keep in mind, a supersaturated solution is made from a saturated solution. And now let me explain this. A supersaturated solution is that solution in which whatever amount of solute is required to make a saturated solution, from that some more amount of solute if present in solution, then that solution is said to be supersaturated solution. So supersaturated solution is that solution in which some more amount of solute than required to make a saturated solution, make a saturated solution is present. Okay, and this solution, my dear student, is made only by heating a saturated solution, because not in absence of heat you cannot now dissolve any more solute in saturated solution. So if you want to make a solution supersaturated, then you will have to heat first of all a saturated solution, and then only you can dissolve some more amount of solute some more amount of solute in that. Okay, so keep in mind once again, supersaturated solution is that solution in which some more amount of solute than required to make a saturated solution is present, and this solution is made by heating a saturated solution. Without heat you cannot make supersaturated solution, so by heating a saturated solution. Okay, so students, this was the topic for today. Revise it, go through it, and also go through your NCERT book. Okay, so till then, bye, and in next class some with new topic I will be before you. Thank you very much.